Hey Browns fans, the noise coming out of Berea is growing louder. This time, it's not just off-season banter, it's the persistent echo of one name reverberating through the Browns training facility and all over social media: Shedeur Sanders. Not long ago, Sanders was projected as a potential #1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Instead, he slipped to the 5th round, 144th overall, where the Cleveland Browns took a calculated swing, and now he's down in Florida, sharpening his craft with surgical precision, and people are starting to pay attention. In a recent clip posted by 305 Sports, Sanders can be seen delivering throws with laser-like accuracy under the watchful eye of elite trainer Derail. Sure, it's a non-contact off-season session. No pads, no pressure, just flawless mechanics. But the film doesn't fabricate. The kid has touch. The talent is real. Yet for all the flashes of brilliance, Shedeur remains buried deep on the Browns' depth chart, likely 4th in the pecking order behind Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel. The path to the top is crowded, the odds are long, and the climb is steep, lined with hypotheticals and guarded by seasoned veterans who've weathered it all. Still, Sanders keeps showing up, keeps grinding with the urgency of a man who understands that all it takes is a moment, a single opportunity, an injury, a slump, a twist of fate, to completely rewrite his narrative. But it hasn't all been smooth. In the same offseason where he dazzled on the training field, Shedeur was also pulled over twice within 2 weeks for excessive speeding, once clocked at over 100 mph and subsequently skipped a court date. Not exactly the resume item NFL GMs want to see from a future franchise quarterback. In this league, character counts, and Shedeur's on-field talent will have to be near immaculate to offset off-field red flags. And now, a new wrinkle. The Toronto Argonauts of the CFL have claimed Sanders' exclusive negotiating rights. That's right, Canada is already posturing for a potential coup if the NFL door closes. It's a sobering reality check for any Day 3 draft pick, especially one with a sky-high ceiling and equally heavy expectations. The CFL has a mechanism in place to earmark NFL outsiders, and Toronto has staked its claim. Now, alongside other forgotten NFL names like Trey Lance and Max Duggan, Shedeur's name floats in a pool that whispers fallback plan instead of franchise future. But here's the difference. There's something singularly resilient about Shedeur Sanders. Despite the noise, the setbacks, and the crowded room, he's still out there, putting in the work. And that matters. Maybe not everything, but enough. The Browns aren't handing out reps, not to a guy listed 4th on the depth chart. He'll have to fight for every snap, every rep, every ounce of credibility, and then do it again and again. But stranger things have happened in the NFL. Injuries can gut a depth chart overnight. One scorching hot preseason stretch can flip a coach's loyalty, and if Watson's health falters, if Flacco or Pickett stumble, or if Gabriel isn't ready, Shed might just be the next man up. But the Browns' roster drama doesn't stop there. Over on defense, a different dilemma is brewing. Veteran linebacker Jordan Hicks suddenly finds himself on the bubble. While he's been effective when healthy, availability remains a concern, and Father Time is undefeated. Analyst Damon Wolf didn't sugarcoat it. If Nathaniel Watson shines at camp, Hicks could be out. That's the cold reality of the NFL. Longevity is a luxury, and in this league, youth and durability are the premium currency. Cleveland appears to be doubling down on youth. After a slight step back in year 2 under defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, the team's focus has shifted to becoming quicker, healthier, and more explosive. Hicks's resume isn't the issue. His reliability is. And that's a wager the Browns front office may no longer be willing to make. And speaking of youth movements, let's turn to the wide receiver room. With Elijah Moore gone, competition is tightening. The Browns typically carry 6 wideouts. 4 of those spots are likely locked up: Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Deontay Johnson, and DeAndre Carter. That leaves 2 open slots and 3 hungry contenders. Jamari Thrash, David Bell, and Michael Woods II are jockeying for position. Thrash has momentum after a redshirt rookie campaign. Bell, a former third runner, brings slot experience, but with only 381 yards over 2 seasons, his window is rapidly closing. Cleveland's offense is expected to lean into more 12 personnel sets this year, meaning fewer wideouts on the field at a time, but more demand for receivers with versatility. Thrash and Bell, both adept from the slot, could carve out specialized roles if they deliver in camp. With rookie quarterbacks like Gabriel and Sanders lurking in the background, surrounding them with reliable, adaptable targets becomes critical. Every drop, every missed route, every mental lapse will be magnified. The margin for error is razor thin, and for guys like Shedeur Sanders, David Bell, and Jordan Hicks, it could mean the difference between resurgence and release. While the young guns scratch and claw for their place on the roster, one man continues to set the gold standard for the franchise, Myles Garrett. Fresh off a brief flirtation with a trade demand and an even shorter reign as the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL, Garrett has fully recommitted himself to being the emotional core of the Cleveland Browns. A 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, and the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Garrett's resume speaks for itself. But in 2025, it's not just the accolades. It's the mindset. Garrett has declared this will be his finest season yet, and he's reinforcing that promise with unshakable leadership, unrelenting intensity, and an unwavering belief in Jim Schwartz's revitalized defensive unit. It's a lot to digest, but this is the NFL. Every training camp rep, every roster cut, every quarterback rep carries weight. So now, we turn it over to you, Dog Pound. What's your take on Shedeur Sanders and his future in Cleveland? Can his raw, untamed talent surge past the off-field noise and earn him a seat at the table? Or will his legal missteps and character concerns prove too heavy a burden to overcome? Will Jordan Hicks survive the youth wave sweeping through the linebacker core? And who stakes their claim to the final receiver spots? Let us know in the comments. As the Browns' evolving roster saga continues to unfold, one name continues to linger in the shadows. David Bell. Once viewed as a dependable high-floor, low-ceiling prospect, Bell's time may be running out. Drafted in the 3rd round after the failed Anthony Schwartz experiment, Bell was meant to bring consistency and trust to a volatile receiving corps. But through 2 full seasons, he's totaled just 381 yards. A meager output in a league that demands production. The Browns gave him real chances. In 2023, Bell saw just 5 passing snaps in Week 2 against Jacksonville, and that was essentially it. This isn't about volume anymore, it's about trust. And when the coaching staff doesn't even put you on the field, that speaks louder than any stat sheet ever could. He's hanging on by a thread, and Jamari Thrash is pulling on that thread hard. Thrash didn't see the field last year, but he's young, hungry, and versatile, the exact profile Cleveland is betting on. With Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, and Deontay Johnson commanding outside snaps, the slot receiver battle may come down to who maximizes every single training camp rep. This is a man who began his journey with the Browns as an intern back in 2015 and has methodically climbed the organizational ladder. His resume is the perfect fusion of intellect and grit, a Princeton degree in economics paired with the tenacity of a former collegiate wide receiver. That blend? It's rare, it's potent, and it's now guiding the Browns' roster blueprint and strategic outlook. Now, Kier's promotion broadcasts a resounding message. The Browns are investing in internal elevation and organizational consistency, not outside disruption. They're reinforcing a culture from within. And with Al-Khairi's sharp analytical mind coupled with first-hand player insight, it's a calculated wager, one that could yield tremendous rewards. But the intrigue doesn't stop in the front office. What's transpiring on the field is equally riveting, especially at the quarterback position. Enter Shedeur Sanders. Remember the pre-draft hype? The questions? The stunning descent from a projected first-round lock to the 144th overall pick in the 5th round? That noise didn't rattle him. If anything, it ignited him. Since day 1 of OTAs, Sanders has been rewriting the narrative, silencing skeptics with poise and performance. By June 4th, he wasn't merely holding his own against seasoned veterans like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, he was exceeding expectations. Sanders completed 9 of 14 passes, tossed 3 touchdowns, and logged only 1 interception. Those aren't rookie stats, they're declaration stats. Numbers that have the coaching staff reevaluating the quarterback depth chart altogether. According to Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, the Browns are seriously contemplating keeping 4 quarterbacks on the roster, and yes, Sanders is one of them. This isn't just about cap space or developmental curiosity, it's about belief. Belief that Sanders could be more than a long-term project. That he could just maybe vault past both Pickett and Flacco before summer's end. This internal QB battle isn't just entertaining, it's authentic, and it's escalating. Fans are starting to envision a new era. Sanders is QB1, orchestrating a revitalized offense with charisma and control. And helping that vision take shape is veteran tight end David Njoku, a man who's caught touchdowns from 8 different Browns quarterbacks and might be preparing for his 9th. During a mic'd-up session at minicamp, Njoku was seen vibing with Sanders, building visible chemistry in real time. "I'm with you," Njoku said, encouraging the rookie during drills. The moment may have felt casual, but it spoke volumes: trust, connection, belief. Later, Njoku even shared his iconic touchdown celebration with Sanders, a subtle but meaningful signal that the rookie is already being welcomed into the inner circle. And the coaching staff? They're paying attention. Quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave praised Sanders' accuracy and ball placement, even while playfully ribbing Njoku's hands. Unfazed and dripping with swagger, Njoku fired back, "Just throw it to me. I'll take care of the rest." That exchange encapsulates what's brewing in Cleveland, a powerful blend of youth, confidence, and culture, rooted in trust and galvanized by competition. Something is shifting, and this time, it may not just be the Browns we're watching evolve, but the birth of something far bigger. Swagger might just be the secret ingredient to something extraordinary brewing in Cleveland. And it's not just Njoku who's catching the vibe. His energy is radiating across the locker room. From giving props to Kenny Pickett to vocal admiration for Myles Garrett, the chemistry forming right now could become the foundation for the Browns' next era. But as the off-field puzzle pieces shift into place, one player is facing immense pressure on the field: Dawand Jones. Now entering his 3rd NFL campaign, Jones stands at a defining juncture, a season that could set the course for the rest of his professional career. Last year, the Browns' offensive line surrendered a staggering 66 sacks, 2nd most in the league. After a standout rookie year that earned him all-rookie honors, Jones stumbled in his sophomore season. A fractured fibula followed by a knee injury derailed his momentum. And his PFF grade through 3 starts fell to a disappointing 44.1. With Jedrick Wills Jr. ruled out for 2025, the responsibility at left tackle now falls to Jones. He's the lone projected starter on the O-line under 30. The Browns brought in veteran Cornelius Lucas as a safety net, but make no mistake, he'll be breathing down Jones' neck. For the 6'8", 374-pound lineman, this is make-or-break territory. Will Jones rise to the occasion and cement himself as the cornerstone of Cleveland's offensive front? Or will injury, setbacks, and inconsistency leave the door open for someone else? And so here we are, a front office shifting gears, a quarterback room bubbling with intrigue, a locker room unified by shared belief, and a young lineman at a professional crossroads. The 2025 Browns are crafting their narrative, and so far it reads like a thriller. Now, we want to hear from you. What's your take on Adam Al-Khiri's elevation to Director of Player Personnel? Do you believe Shedeur Sanders has what it takes to become the Browns' next great quarterback? Is Dawand Jones ready to anchor the trenches and protect the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of writing the next chapter, let's zoom back in on Shedeur Sanders, because his mere presence is shifting the tone and tempo of Cleveland's offseason. What initially seemed like a low-risk, developmental 5th-round pick is fast becoming the most captivating storyline of the summer. This is the same quarterback who saw his draft stock plunge despite a decorated college career and NFL-caliber arm talent. Yet here in Cleveland, he's not just another rookie, he's challenging the depth chart, outshining expectations, and pushing seasoned vets to elevate their game. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old Super Bowl MVP, was expected to be the guiding veteran presence. Kenny Pickett was presumed to be the primary backup with starting experience. Dylan Gabriel, another rookie, adds depth. But it's Sanders who's forcing the Browns to entertain the unthinkable, carrying 4 quarterbacks into the season. And not just for depth, because they might need all 4. The Browns aren't just hedging their bets. They're constructing a strategy for both the present and the long game. Armed with 2 first-round picks from Jacksonville in the 2026 draft, picks that could land in the top 10 depending on the Jaguars' performance, Cleveland is navigating a dual mission: win now while positioning themselves to strike later. And if Sanders continues to ascend, those future picks become even more valuable, whether as trade leverage or as ammunition to reinforce other key positions. But don't underestimate what Sanders is doing off the field either. His impact in the locker room is undeniable. Veterans like Njoku are embracing him. Coaches like Bill Musgrave are praising his precision. These aren't casual compliments. They're early indicators that Sanders is being viewed not merely as a developmental piece, but as a future leader in the making. And with his tireless work ethic and natural arm talent, it's only a matter of time before belief translates into production. What we're witnessing in Cleveland might be subtle now, almost hidden beneath the preseason noise, but if you take a step back and connect the dots, the picture sharpens. From the front office restructuring with Alkire, to the quarterback competition unfolding behind the scenes, to the defining season awaiting Deion Jones, the signs are clear. This isn't just another Browns season, this is a turning point. So Browns fans, what's your perspective? Can Shedeur Sanders truly ascend from fifth-round gamble to franchise face? Will Deion Jones rise and protect that future under center? And is Adam Alkire the strategic mastermind this organization has been waiting for? Sound off in the comments, tap that like button, subscribe to the channel for non-stop Browns coverage. Go Browns! It's almost hard to believe, but genuine excitement is bubbling up in Cleveland. Despite coming off a gut-wrenching 3-14 season, Bell's edge lies in his inside experience, but unless he turns that into immediate, tangible production, it won't be enough. And let's not forget, fit matters. The Browns' offense is undergoing an identity shift in 2025. With more two tight end formations, fewer wideouts will see the field. The margin for error is shrinking fast. If you're WR5 or WR6, you better block, contribute on special teams, and bring something distinctive to the table, or you're gone. Now let's return to the quarterback saga, because no matter how strong the rest of the roster looks, everything always circles back to the QB position. Shedeur Sanders isn't just competing against other quarterbacks, he's battling narrative. Falling to the 5th round after once being mocked as a top 5 pick can shake the psyche of even the most resilient prospect. Add in his legal runs and high-speed traffic violations and whispers questioning his dedication, it's a lot of weight for a rookie to carry. But here's the truth. If he can stay clean off the field and light it up on it, the league won't be able to ignore him. Let's also not pretend the Browns' QB room is immune to volatility. Deshaun Watson is still recovering from injury. Joe Flacco is a stopgap veteran. Kenny Pickett is improving but not yet elite. Dillon Gabriel is talented but raw. If there was ever a season ripe for an underdog breakout, this might be it. And maybe, just maybe, Shedeur Sanders' moment is much closer than we think. We've unpacked it all, Browns fans. Now it's your turn. Who do you believe will seize the final wide receiver slots? Has David Bell earned another shot, or is time up? Could Shedeur Sanders really evolve into Cleveland's future QB1? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Browns' journey.